everyone, Jen from Retrospresso here. My husband and I started up a mobile coffee trailer in the Pacific Northwest, kind of in the Puyallup, Tacoma area, called Retrospresso. So my goal in this video is just to show you, or kind of explain some of the difficulties that we've encountered since we started this process in last year in June, but officially in January. So stay tuned. I have something that's pretty crazy that happened to us in March, but stay tuned for that. I'll be giving you details on the crazy ride that we've been on. So starting out in my garage, as you can see, we've had some delays with our trailer, and so that's something we'll get into a little later. But I have this beautiful $12,000 espresso machine installed into my garage because the trailer is not completed yet, and it was supposed to be, and I wanted what I'd paid for. So we have it, like I said, in the garage. It's plumbed in to a bucket that the coffee goes into once it's, the drainage, and we have a filter installed. Very makeshift, but you know what? It works, and eventually here our trailer will be done and it will be in the trailer. So that's all that matters. So here's the journey. So if you're thinking of doing a mobile coffee trailer, great, good idea. It's such a cool thing right now because you can be mobile. You can go wherever the party is. So I think it's a lot better than starting up a coffee stand, which is why we decided to go this route. Plus the startup of it is significantly less than a brick and mortar building. So we had three options of what you want to do when it comes to deciding what type of trailer you want to buy. You can buy an existing one that's already out. There's a website that will sell ones all over the country that might fit your needs, but for us it just wasn't what we wanted, and it was really expensive. So it's hard to finance something like that unless you have the money saved up. So your second option would be to buy a cargo trailer, which is around $6,000, and convert it into some kind of mobile food or coffee unit. And that was around $30,000 to convert one, but that did come with kind of your basic espresso machine, basic refrigerator. So that was a good option. So then you're into that for about $40,000 of just the equipment. So that was one option, but I wanted the retro feel. So my options, what I originally wanted was an Airstream trailer, which if anybody's into the retro vibe, it's like $100,000 for the Airstream. Then you'd have to convert it. So that was out of the question. But the one that I really wanted was an Airstream, or a Shasta trailer. So if anybody's seen the Shasta trailers, they're the kind of white with like a lightning bolt of color through the center, and they're from the 60s, like 1963. So I went on a binge of looking at all those and trying to find one that I could buy and convert it into a coffee trailer, and my husband basically said no, because by the time you get down to the frame, which you have to do when you convert something like that, being in Washington State for 60 years out in the rain, the chances of it being pretty nasty on the frame is pretty high. Then you're wasting $6,000. So those are kind of your options of what to do for a trailer. So I was kind of bummed out. I was trying to figure out how I was going to wrap a cargo trailer to look retro. But then I went on to Facebook and I saw the marketplace, and in the marketplace, there were some old nasty Shasta trailers, and I just thought on a whim I'd find something I liked, and I ran across AeroBuild. It's this company in Nashville, and they make beautiful trailers for any kind of thing. If you're looking for something outrageous, they will be able to do it for you. So I encourage you to go on to aerobuild.com, I believe, and check out all their previous builds. They have the beautiful coffee trailers, which is what I saw, and even just the shell of a trailer without anything in the inside or customized is just gorgeous. So I fell in love with it, long story short, and I had to convince my husband that it was a good idea to build something in Nashville, which is cross country, and just on a whim hope it all works out. And so we did that in January, and so that was the total bill for that. I'll just be transparent with everybody. It was like $37,000 to buy this kind of basic model trailer with kind of like, you could pick, the flooring was one option. It could be like dark gray or kind of an in-between color. Your cabinets could be a certain color. Your countertops, you had options for that. And then the hardware, you could choose black or brown or whatever color. And then like your lighting fixtures, you could change that. So you had some customizable options, but nothing significant. So I decided to do a pop of color with some bright blue cabinets, and then our logo on the outside and on the inside. And then instead of just that vinyl shiny siding that you'd see if you looked up their trailers online, ours is like a shiplap. So it's super cute. It's very like modern retro, and I think it's like clean looking. So I'm really excited to see it. So we had that started in January, and I looked at the LNI's codes in Washington State, and this is where you're gonna have trouble. Whoever is doing a coffee or food trailer is LNI. LNI is the main roadblock, I guess you could say, for starting up a company like this. I went through 63 pages of plumbing, electrical, all the codes, venting, length of everything, door width, handicap accessible, like shelf in the front, so and then what your glass can be made of in the window. And so there were all these pages that I have no idea what this stuff means, and highlighted everything and sent it to the builders, and they're like, holy cow, what are we looking at? Nashville doesn't have anything like this. So it is something that's totally new to them as well. So they added on $3,000 to customize the plumbing and electrical to meet the needs of Washington and also California. He had a builder, somebody that was building one for California, which was very similar too. So we have to have plans through the LNI that has all the plumbing for it in detail with length, total length, I mean vents, you know, the size, of course, of your water and the gray water, and your sinks, the size of each one. Can the faucet reach every single one of them? Is the drip tray of it so big? You know, then it has to have plans of electrical and the emergency electrical shutoff. And I mean, it's very detailed. And you cannot just submit one page at a time. You have to submit them all in a binder. And in this binder, it needs to have the manufacturer's specifications for the heat pump and the refrigerators and all these things. So it is a lot to do, and I know it takes a long time, and I haven't submitted it yet, and our build is going to be done at the end of the month. So I'm a little bit stressed out about that, but I'll get into what was actually pretty cool, what happened to us, but also frustrating. So like I said, I purchased the trailer in January, and it was supposed to be done in May. Well, in March, we got an email from the builders in Nashville that said, hey, the Discovery Channel wants to do a show on us on our builds. So they might be reaching out to you soon to see if you want to be a part of their show. And so, of course, I was excited, and I said, yes, I do. And so it was an audition process, and I've never done anything like that before, so I was super nervous. I had 3 interviews with the Discovery Channel, and if I can do it, I'll put up some of the emails that I have, you know, correspondence with them, and show you, like, it was true. It was the producers of the Discovery Channel, and the show that we were auditioning for was called The Rollout, and it was just about different builds that they're doing. So there's 15 people getting their trailers built currently at the time in March, and they were auditioning for 6 episodes. And so I went through a series of what's our story, and quickly I'll tell you, the reason our story is interesting is because I'm a dental hygienist 4 days a week in Enumclaw, Washington. We live in Graham. It's a little bit of a drive, but I do that 4 days a week and I love it. My husband is a refrigeration specialist. He works on grocery stores, kind of fixes all their problems. So he's super handy. We have 2 boys, Hudson and Brantley, and they're 6 and 8 years old. And my youngest one, Hudson, is on the autism spectrum. So we have him in ABA therapy 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, and it's getting expensive. And we've been doing that since he was 3, so that's nothing new. But our insurance doesn't cover all of it because we both work full time. We don't qualify for the like reduction of cost of that. And so we want to add in music therapy. I've heard really good things about it, and so that's completely out of pocket because it's considered like experimental. So we were trying to think of a way to make more money to give Hudson all of his needs, and I've always wanted to own a coffee stand. I did coffee for 10 years before I got into dental hygiene school and through high school and up until then. And so I loved it. It's a cool industry. You make good money on it. It's fun. You can be involved in the community. And so this was the way of kind of incorporating all of that into one. And so this was a story that I pitched to the producers of the rollout, and they liked it. And you know, my slogan was kind of like cleaning off coffee stains during the week and putting them back on the weekend, and they thought that was hilarious. And then of course they liked that Hudson, it was for a good cause too. So we ended up getting one of the 6 episodes for the rollout, and the design team started going. They stopped production in Nashville, and so they were talking about changing the flooring to like black and white, checkered, kind of like that checkerboard print, which I initially wanted but couldn't afford. And just lots of little changes, neon, like signs in there, just like really fun retro things. And so the design team, we were kind of working together, but I still haven't officially seen what they wanted to do. And so we were waiting on a date. They were going to fly us all out, all 4 of us, to Nashville. They said between June like 4th and July 21st, we were going to be the first part of the series. And waiting on the date for it. I emailed the guy and he emailed back, you know, unfortunately, due to logistics, we had to cancel the show. So, super bummed out. I'm practically signing autographs at the dental office. And so that was a big bummer. And the biggest bummer is that now we're 2 months behind. So we're supposed to be done in May, now we're done in the end of July, beginning of August. And so, you know, wrap my mind around that. I had to cancel a couple of like the soccer league that I had planned. I had to cancel that, a wedding, some graduations. So that was a big bummer. I felt terrible about that, but there's nothing I could do. So we're moving forward. But I mean, pretty cool that I got to audition with the producers of the Discovery Channel. It was a really cool experience, and though I was pretty upset, you know, I tried to just take it as a fun experience and hope that maybe there's something better down the line. So that was the crazy thing that happened to us 3 months into trying to build this show, you know, build this build. We have been through a crazy ride, and I'm a little bit angry at the Discovery Channel for putting us behind. And so I'm starting this YouTube channel to try to get us out there, try to get us some good exposure, and to show you what it's like to start something like this from the ground up. So, you know, I've got the coffee machine here. I make coffee on the weekends for my family. I'll bring some into work sometimes. And then as soon as, you know, we're gonna fly to Nashville on the 31st of July, and we're gonna check out the builders and the build August 2nd, I believe, and then we're gonna ship it here to Washington for $3,000. Just as a heads up to what something like that might cost. It is significant, but when we thought about how long we would have to take off of work to do it, and what could go wrong along the way, right now with COVID, you can't rent a truck to go across the country one way, and buying a truck, there wasn't very many good options. We thought about that too, so we thought of every option. I think that just shipping it, as long as you find a reputable place that's going to take good care of it, is probably the best option, though it does stink to have $3 grand kind of on nothing. I just wanted to get here, so really excited about it. Stay tuned. We're gonna be popping up in Nashville probably next and show you the whole building facility. These builders are fantastic. They have the best customer service and really great products. So stay tuned, like us and subscribe, and we'll take you along the way for events. We'll be doing live streaming, and we'll try to make it fun along the way. So we'll have good music and lots of fun experiences. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next time. Thanks.